Hey guys, Zen here, and today we're back with our first big video of Year 4 Season 4. It's time to talk about the final content update of Year 4 and the next operation of Rainbow Six Siege. So let's not waste any time and get right into it, guys. Now, Ubisoft recently announced Operation Shifting Tides. This new update will feature operators from both India and Kenya, as well as the reworked 2 theme park. From the initial splash art here, we can clearly see an oceanic theme and what looks like a landing pad with a new insignia we've never seen before. Now, typically these first images allude to the map and or the overall theme of the operation. With Operation Wind Bastion, for instance, the initial art was of the actual fortress map and the location of Morocco. But given the fact that this season we're getting theme park, there could be the possibility it's been hit by a tsunami or that it's been changed from a theme park to a water park. I mean, we've seen the entire aesthetic of a map change with something like Hereford, so I'm really excited to see if theme park will go in an entirely different direction upcoming here. So personally, I love the water. I've lived by the ocean my entire life, and so it'll be nice to see that theme play out this season if it comes to fruition. Now, we also get a look at both of the new gadgets in a new CGI trailer, and oh my god, it's nothing like what I was expecting, and there is a lot to say. So let's check out the trailer, and we'll speak again soon.
Testing stopping power, CSRX 300. Biometrics disabled. Commencing test now. That's going to sting. Disruption test LV explosive lance. Repositioning auxiliary walls. Launching on my mark. Mark. A little dramatic, but it does the job. Projectile interception test, magnet system. Let's see how you stack up to the magpie. Collateral damages within acceptable parameters. Marius will have to find some other way to prevent the magnet's deployment.
So we can begin with the new attacker gadget, the CSRX 300. It looks like a sniper rifle that packs a serious punch coupled with an underbarrel launcher. So there's 2 parts to this gadget. The first is the sniper, which is obviously capable of blowing open holes in soft walls. And this is a big deal because if you really think about it, it'll be the most precise way of opening up a soft wall to peek through. Let me give a better example. Most times when you're not a soft breacher and all you have is your weapon, you can fire into a soft wall and with enough bullets, it'll create a murder hole. Honestly, I don't think anyone does this better than Glaz, oddly enough. But yeah, with the CSRX 300, you'll be able to do this with 1 shot and through multiple barricades, it looks like. Now, as a sniper, this is an advantage, but pair that with the ability to launch a round into a reinforced wall, and now you become fundamental, and that's exactly what we've got here. The underbarrel is a launcher that buries itself deep into a reinforced wall, and after some time will explode, creating a murder hole. Now, from those kind of early examples of the gadget, you might draw the conclusion that this is powerful, maybe a little too powerful, and we're seeing yet another hard breacher on attack. But I think this is going to be a case of seeing the entire operator before we pass judgment, because yes, this ability, which also seems to bypass electrified walls and really may not have any gadget counters, seems very powerful and probably very easy to use on the safe side of a reinforced wall. But it also takes some time to do this, and because it literally drills into the other side of a wall, I could see a defender using an impact nade or possibly even just shooting it while it's being deployed as a way to counter it. There's also the potential for Maestro to set up an evil eye cam around high traffic areas where this gadget may be used and take it out with his turret if he catches it in time. Now, outside of Maverick, anytime we're dealing with hard breachers in Rainbow Six Siege, it's very loud and apparent where and when their gadgets are being used, and this looks no different. The launcher itself was pretty audible. The sound of the round drilling into the wall was very obvious and also quite unique, and then there's the explosion. So altogether, I think you'll know when you're dealing with this operator specifically. On a side note, Mira did mention it was biometric, which basically means in some way, whether it's fingerprint or blood sample or something, it'll only work for this operator. I thought that was interesting considering pretty much every gadget is exclusive to their respective operators, so we could be seeing some lore there. Now, I do want to wait to see the entire loadout, but my honest thought is that this weapon will be this operator's primary and double as the gadget, and at best come with a bearing 9 magazine or some kind of automatic secondary to complete the kit. I think it's obvious this weapon will hit much harder than Glaz's OTS, and because of being able to open up both soft and hard walls, I think this operator will act as the definitive sniper of the team, hanging around outside and opening up the map through windows and doorways. Glaz, on the other hand, is the more aggressive, long-range op with the ability to see through smoke, and it may even be advantageous to bring both because the new sniper can open up unique sightlines for Glaz to cover up with smoke and pick shots. Guys, I don't want to ramble on for too long here, but I can say that I'm actually excited for another sniper in Rainbow Six Siege. The last thing to mention is that, again, if this is the only primary available to this operator, then the speculation of a one-shot kill does make a lot of sense. I don't think anyone could deny that this weapon, even in this small presentation, hits hard, and if it's able to blow holes in soft walls, I honestly wouldn't understand how it couldn't take out an enemy in a single bullet. Of course, only time will tell if this is balanced or not, but I am really curious if you guys think a one-shot kill mechanic is too much for Rainbow Six Siege. Obviously, the one-shot headshot mechanic is the core of the entire experience, but what do you think about a very specific situation like this, where we have an operator able to take someone out with this massive sniper weapon? Let me know down below. Lastly, there also seems to be a unique scope coming on this weapon, and of course, the weapon is brand new to the game, and so all in all, there's a lot here to look forward to, guys. But now we can move over to the Defender and the magnet system. Essentially, it's a small device that can be placed over windows and doorways, really anywhere it seems, and it will magnetically pull projectiles towards it. Once they're pulled towards it, yes, in fact, they do still go off, causing collateral damage, as said by Mira herself. Now, at first, I always thought the device would be explosion-proof because it would be destroyed in the event of an impact or frag, but that's exactly the intention. At least in a situation with explosives, you're looking at a 1-to-1 ratio. If a frag does get pulled, it'll counter out the magnet system and vice versa. So, since learning this, I'm assuming this operator will have many of them, maybe 5 or 6, and have the freedom to place them wherever. I do think it'll be best to place at the top of windows and doorways so that when the nades do go off, it's the farthest away from the operators and the other gadgets around it. Now, unlike Jaeger's Magpie, it looks like this gadget may be silent and only detectable by IQ, which could be one of the advantages over the ADS. The only other thing to really point out is that this gadget is most likely the answer to both Capitao and Gridlock's main gadgets, but particularly Gridlock because it isn't countered at all by Jaeger and tracks are made completely out of metal. So guys, really what we have here is a device that kind of finishes up what Jaeger has set in stone for all these years and a counter to some of the gadgets that he has no effect on. What I think is really interesting though is that the magnetic system will have to be placed kind of on their own because of some of the damage they can cause to the other gadgets around it. If you think about top floor Oregon on the main window, for instance, there's usually a ton of Defender gadgets piled high in that window, from mute jammers to goo mines, and with Jaeger, he kind of protects all that stuff. If you place a magnet system there, instead, you're essentially putting all of those gadgets at risk because a single impact or frag will destroy them all. Placement will be key with this gadget, and also communicating with your team and letting them know not to place important gadgets around it will be crucial to be successful, at least from everything we've learned here. Now, it looks like this gadget will have a very wide radius of being able to catch nades. It's much more in line with something like Nomad's air jab than Kaid's Electroclaw, and so you'll have plenty of room to work with when you do deploy it. In general though, this gadget isn't nearly as cut and dry as Jaeger's ADS, but if this operator plans to be of any real competition to Jaeger, the rest of them needs to be top tier. Jaeger's 416 is easily one of the best weapons on defense, and he's also 3 speed, which is always sought after on defense, and so with the gadget with so much counterplay, the weapons, and everything else about this new operator will need to be stacked to compete with Jaeger. Now, some of you may be wondering why I keep saying competition to Jaeger, and it's mainly because that, at least early on, I see no synergy between the two. Kind of like Mute and Bandit, they can't both be deployed on the same wall, but they do serve a similar purpose. Once a projectile flies through an opening, the ADS will just take it out instantly, and the magnets will never get a chance to catch it. So for the same window, there's just no need for both. Overall, it's interesting, guys. These magnets do offer a ton of utility, but like with most things in Siege, there are rules to this, and you'll need to have the knowledge to make the most out of them. All in all, with this initial peek into the next season and gadgets, I think we've got an actually game-changing season coming here. Really, anytime there's hard-breaching tools being added to the game, you can expect a huge effect on the meta and who's played to counter. The magnet system is the most complex gadget here because it isn't as easy to understand or to be successful with as the ADS because it puts other gadgets at risk, and I guess it's tough to imagine another operator saying not to worry about about grenades now, but, well, you still kind of do. As far as the sniper launcher combo, the CSRX-300, there's elements of a few operators. Ash with the infinite range, the sniper element of Glaz, but also a little buck because of the underbarrel attachment. I will say that I think timing and opportunity will be the biggest factors for this attacker because, well, anytime you're dealing with a sniper, you need to be opportunistic, but using the launcher at the right time and to possibly do damage to Bandit while he tricks or just destroy gadgets throughout the objective will take time, and that's going to be interesting to watch play out next season. But guys, that's it. Operation Shifting Tides is right around the corner, and there is a lot to go over and learn in the weeks to come, and so you can expect the news, plays, and thoughts to go right alongside it. Of course, now I want to hear from you. Which gadget do you think will be more powerful this season? And based on what we know, are you still a Jaeger main? Leave everything in a comment down below. If you did enjoy this video, please drop a like and subscribe with notifications if you're new. With that being said, it's been Zen. Hey, I'm out.